Today we're going to talk about the various business models that you can use to enroll customers into your course, coaching, or membership programs. Let's check it out. Now, there are multiple strategies that you can use to enroll customers into your program, but they really break down into just two categories. You have evergreen programs and you have product launches. Now, if your program is evergreen, that means that it's available for purchase or enrollment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. Now, of course, you can also offer additional incentives for people to join at certain times throughout the year. So, for example, you can offer a discount. You can offer special pricing for members. You can add additional bonuses if people buy before a specific deadline. There really are limitless options and incentives that you can include to add an element of urgency so they make a purchase at a specific time. But as a whole, with an evergreen offer, anyone can join at any time. And then you have product launches. And this is where you open your cart or your enrollment for a specific period of time at certain points throughout the year. And then after that period ends, you close the cart or you shut down the enrollment. And if someone did not buy during this specific period of time, they have to wait until you open the enrollment again. Now, in my business, I've tried multiple launch styles throughout the years. And the thing that I've learned that has had the most impact on my business isn't necessarily the various launch strategies. While those are definitely important, what's made the most impact is learning how my specific market buys. And what do I mean by that? Well, for example, in my other business, which caters to musicians, I've learned that when it comes to middle and higher ticket offers, which are really anything over $500, musicians have a tendency to just kick the can down the road. Okay, they're more apt to buy a low ticket $37, $47, or $97 offer, but they're going to hold off on buying a program that's $500 or more unless they have an urgent reason to. Now, meanwhile, in my experience working with entrepreneurs who are focused on building their businesses, they have no problem buying a $1,000 or $5,000 offer immediately. In fact, if you have the right offer, they'll virtually beg you to take their money. And why is there such a difference between the way that these two markets buy? That's a good question, right? Well, I would say that it's because only 5 to 10% of musicians are focused on results, and the other 90 to 95% of them are focused on price. And it's the complete opposite when it comes to entrepreneurs. 90 to 95% of them are focused on the results, while very few are focused on price. And that actually makes sense because entrepreneurs by nature are results driven. And this is the key point that I want you to take away from this. Okay, before you start worrying about which business model to use to convert subscribers into paid customers, you first have to understand your market. Specifically, you have to understand how the majority of people in your market buy. And that's what should determine the model that you follow when it comes to promoting and selling your offers. Now, since I've learned that the majority of musicians focus primarily on price, I only offer my flagship course once or twice a year. If it's available 24/7, most musicians are they're just gonna kick that can down the road. Again, because there's no incentive for them to buy it now. Okay, and they're more price driven than results driven. So for example, in 2021, I decided to listen to all those experts who advised that I offer my program Evergreen, and that actually only lasted for about 7 months. It was also the hardest I had ever worked for the least amount of income. In addition, I had to hire 2 full teams and I had to hire 3 part-time employees. And then I pulled it off Evergreen after 7 months. I went back to the launch model. And 2 months later, I ran my standard open closed cart launch. In 1 week, we generated more than every previous launch since I first went live in 2018. So for 7 months, the program was available 24/7. Musicians could have jumped in at any time, but they didn't until that urgency and scarcity was forced on them. Because I've learned that the majority of people in the music market are primarily price focused, leveraging scarcity and urgency is necessary for them to take action. And I see this with a lot of other course creators who I consult with in the music space as well. They struggle to get sales into their mid and high ticket offers when they're evergreen. But when they pivot to the launch model, their entire business turns around. However, those who have offers $500 or less, they do very well with the Evergreen model. And that's just how the majority of people in that specific market buy. Yeah, it's the opposite in the entrepreneurial space. The majority of entrepreneurs buy based on results. They don't care how much it costs because they're focused on the benefits and they want to apply those benefits to their business immediately. At the same point, entrepreneurs inherently understand that a $5,000 offer serves them at an infinitely higher level than a $50 offer. So they're more likely to not waste their time with the $50 offer and go straight to the $5,000 offer. Why is that? Well, it's because they want those premium results and they're willing to pay a premium for them. So you have to understand your market and you have to understand how those individuals in your market buy. Are they price driven or are they results driven? Because that's what's ultimately going to determine your ideal business model. Now, you'll probably have to try a few different launch strategies as you grow your business, and that's good for you. Okay, that's something that I want to encourage you to walk into with an open mind. Because when you do this, you're going to learn your market very quickly, and that allows you to serve your market and your clients at a high level without overworking yourself or burning yourself out. In fact, if you're burning yourself out like I was in 2021, I can guarantee the process you're using to sell to your audience isn't ideally suited for your audience. So while you may automatically think that your market is results driven, that may not necessarily be the case. Of course, everyone wants results, but that does not necessarily mean that those results are their primary motivator to buy from you right now. And in that case, that's where urgency and scarcity come into play. All right. So all this being said, I'm sharing this with you because instead of focusing your attention on the different types of launches and the different launch strategies that are out there, what's even more important is learning your audience. I cannot stress that enough. Learn what drives them. Are they motivated to buy based on the results they're going to get? Or are they motivated to buy because the offer is disappearing and they don't want to miss out? They have FOMO, fear of missing out. Are they dreamers who desire something but then make excuses not to buy when you put an offer in front of them? Or are they achievers who are willing to pay any price to get the result immediately? That's what you have to determine first, because as you've seen here, every market and every niche is different. So I hope this was informative for you. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my ebook, The 7 Simple Steps to a 7-Figure Business. I break down the exact method that I've used to grow my own multi-7-figure business. And this method has helped so many other entrepreneurs who I've coached create highly profitable online businesses for themselves. So with that said, I wish you the most success, and I will see you soon.